Okay, Eve Harrow, the Jerusalem Conference, February 20th, 2008. I'm sitting here with Rachel Ehrenfeld, the director of the American Center for Democracy. Thank you so much for joining me today on Arutz Sheva. Please tell our listeners why you're here and what it is that you do, the important work that you do.
I'm here to talk basically about financial jihad, about how mostly the Saudis are using the money in order to corrupt the West and to fund terrorism, and eventually to take over the West.
Why is it, and I know you've put out a book, and Dory Gold put out a book, Hatred's Kingdom, about Saudi Arabia. Why is it difficult for people in the West to understand that, how Saudi Arabia is so implicated and so involved with terrorism? Why does the moniker moderate Saudi Arabia seem to stick?
Money corrupt and more money corrupt.
It's all about the money.
Even more, absolutely. They have about between 800 billion to $1 trillion of sovereign fund ready for investment. The economy in the West is not wonderful. People are looking for investments and for high return. In the West, if you can get for exceptionally well placed investment, something like 5 to maybe 7%, which would be very high return, sometimes the Saudis and the Gulf are offering you 17%. Well, if you're a businessman, you go for that. People are not paying attention to the fact that the investments are Sharia investments, Sharia compliant investments. And they are actually submitting themselves to Islam. And that's part of the program, really. Because Islamic banking did not exist. It's an invention. It's an invention of the 20th century, of the Muslim Brotherhood. And they've developed it since the oil boom started in the 70s. And now in the last decade it has been actually booming. And they are taking advantage, it's really our money, but they are taking advantage of all this money that they are getting from us in order to corrupt us further and in order to buy everything that they can inside. And once a Muslim buys something, even if he sells it again, it belongs to him. So that's fine. Again, they are selling it under, this is Sharia financing. And Sharia financing means that you abide by Islamic laws. What do Islamic laws mean? You cannot differentiate between, if you want some invented Sharia financing laws, and on the other hand, stoning a woman or cutting somebody's hand. It's all the same. There are no distinction in Islam between private, public, religious life. Everything is the same. The Quran dictates everything, and therefore, when you submit yourself to Sharia financing, you submit yourself to Islam.
So you're saying that if a company lets Sharia financing buy into the company or buy a majority of its company, then the employees of the company or the people who work for the company have in effect have to adhere to Islamic religious law?
When you invest with a Sharia compliant bank, and all investment companies and Sharia banks, financial institutions in the Gulf and in Saudi Arabia belong to the sovereigns. They are all Islamic banks. And so if you do business with them, you do it according to Islamic banking. This is new. Usually what happened was, until about five years ago, if you invested with them, you invested according to Western financial standards. Yeah. Now they turned it around because they have so much money. They have the power, and now you invest according to their rules. And their rules are new, and they are invested, and they do whatever they want. People pay no attention to it because they say, well, it's money, and after all, they are bankers, and they want to make money too. So they don't really care about the fact that there are all kinds of prohibition. For example, you cannot be involved in any business that has to do with gambling, pork, alcohol, any kind of birth control, weapons,
Or anything
any Israeli company, anything that they don't like actually, and because they make up the rules, it can be anything.
You have to divest from what they don't agree with.
And it's not only that, you have to, they can list and delist companies as they wish. Now they bought 20% of NASDAQ and 46% of the London Stock Exchange, and they are buying more.
These are tremendous numbers.
Tremendous numbers. They already have the Nordic Stock Exchange as well, and they are expanding and expanding fast. All over the world, they are now in more than 80 countries, and it's more than 300 financial institutions around the world.